Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this AWS Comprehensive Journey, we have already covered a few advanced topics like Lambda and API Gateway. I got few requests from the learners about basics. I thought of starting with the basics. So in this AWS Comprehensive course, we're starting with basics now, and I'm going to cover the introduction to this AWS Comprehensive course in this session. Okay, and welcome to the comprehensive AWS course. And in this series, we will explore everything you need to know about Amazon Web Services, the leading cloud platform that transforming industries worldwide. So, without any further ado, let's start the topic. So, we will start with the basics. We'll start with AWS. So, AWS we know, right? AWS is a leading cloud service provider. We all know that. Why it become a leading cloud service provider? Because it offers on-demand scalable servers and services. These servers and computing services, right, which was offered by the AWS are on-demand. That means whenever you want, you can use it, and whenever you don't want, you can turn them off. So you can only pay for what you have used. This will save a lot of cost to you. And scalable servers. Based on the demand of your servers, the server's capacity will be scaled up and scaled down. That part of scalability was taken care by AWS. For example, if you have a website and you have 100 users right now, but in future your website got clicked and so many users started logging into your website and that started hitting your website like anything. In that case, you need more scalable system, right? And in order to build your own scalable system is very difficult. But if you use the AWS, it will provide this on-demand and scalable computing services within minutes throughout globally, so that you can leverage the advantage of this AWS. And the impact which was created by the AWS, if you see, it's revolutionized IT and powers global giants like NASA, Netflix, Dropbox, and Amazon.com itself. These are the big chains, big global giants, they are using AWS right now. And you can access the same infrastructure that powers these chains. Okay, now what we will learn in this course? In this course, we will cover a wide range of AWS services from foundational ones like EC2 and S3 to advanced services like Lambda, CloudFormation, and API Gateway. Whether you are a developer, architect, or enthusiast, this course has something for you. And if you see here, these many services I'm going to cover in this comprehensive course. And if you see here, we have Lambda and API Gateway. Those two services I have already covered. And if you want to learn about these services, those videos are available in our channel. Go and try to watch those videos if you want to learn about Lambda and API Gateway, right? And apart from that, if you see from the compute side, I'm going to cover Amazon EC2, AWS Lambda, and more services, right? I'm not adding those services information here, but if the course progresses, I will add more services here. And with respect to storage, we have Amazon S3, Amazon EBS, and EFS Instant Store. I will explain everything here. With respect to storage and with respect to databases, we will cover RDS databases, DynamoDB, Elastic Cache, and etc. I will cover all the database services available in the AWS. And with respect to networking, we'll see what is load balancing, application load balancing, and network load balancing, all the load balancing related stuff. And also we will learn about Route 53, VPC, and web application firewall. All this information I'm going to cover in this course. With respect to DevOps, we'll cover pipeline, code build, code deploy, and with respect to monitoring, we will cover CloudWatch and X-ray services, along with security features like IAM, which is very essential in AWS. And you must have to know about IAM. I am going to cover with respect to IAM in a dedicated section itself. And we are going to know about KMS, the encryption keys management system. And With respect to integration and automation, we have already covered API gateway, and also we are going to learn about step functions and so on. And there are so many services which are not represented here, but I am going to cover in this course. And moving on to the next part, right? We have already started with AWS, right? We have seen what is AWS and how it revolutionized IT industry and what are the services we are going to cover in this course, right? Along with, we will see a brief history about AWS. It's good to know. AWS has a fascinating history. Starting in 2002, it was initially used internally by AWS itself, Amazon itself. They internally used AWS, and in 2004, right, AWS introduced services like SQS to the public. So they have an internal idea to provide their infrastructure as a service to other chains, right, other companies. Since they have seen an opportunity there, every company need infrastructure, every company need databases, every company need to maintain servers, databases, right? So why can't we give this infrastructure as a service to users or companies or startups so that they can leverage this infrastructure and build their applications seamlessly? So that is the idea behind infrastructure as a service, and AWS came up with this beautiful idea internally in 2002, and in 2004 they publicly launched SQS, and so many users started using this SQS service, and they introduced these two core services of AWS. We all know about AWS core services, right? Like S3, EC2, and even SQS, right? SQS was the first service they launched. Everybody knows about EC2, but yeah, SQS is the first service they launched, and they waited for 2 years, and after that they launched S3 and EC2. And fast forward to today, AWS generates $90 billion revenue and lead the cloud market itself. You can see, and in the right side, if you observe, we have Gartner chart, right? I have taken this Gartner chart from the AWS website itself, and if you see here, AWS is the leader in the cloud market, right? It has 31% of the cloud market share in 2024 quarter one, and it has 1 million active users globally. So this speaks about AWS legacy and how AWS became a market leader in cloud computing. And moving on to the next slide, that is regarding AWS cloud use cases. So AWS is versatile, right? It will supporting a wide range of industries, whether you are building an enterprise IT solutions, and if you want a backup for your IT company, and if you want to storage for your data, AWS will be useful for you. And whether you are hosting websites or analyzing big data or creating mobile applications or creating gaming platforms, right? AWS has the tools to help you succeed. So these are the use cases AWS will solve. With respect to industries, it will be used in every industry you can name: retail, finance, healthcare, media, right? Social media. So in all these industries, you can use AWS. AWS use cases are there, and you can already see in the use cases, the real world use cases which AWS is currently solving. And finally, the chains, the companies which using AWS, right? McDonald's, 21st Century Fox, Activision, and Netflix, Amazon.com itself, NASA, Dropbox. They are all using AWS infrastructure as their cloud platform. Yeah, that wraps up our introduction to AWS. In the next episode, we will dive deeper into the AWS global infrastructure and EC2, S3, and other services. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.